Next, we need to create this surface, basically this glass punctures and this top glass puncture on the curved surface, on this tapered and curved surface. Before that, now we don't need these, we can delete them, yes. And if you want, you can create a separate layer for profile curves. All these base curves, you can just go to the selection, and from that you can use select curves, and it will select only the curves and all the curves in your model basically. And when you go to the layer panel, you can change object layer. For temporary basis, we can hide it so that your neat and clean model is clear. Now what we need to do is, as I told before, we need to create these punctures. Let's do that. Select this surface, zoom select. So either you can use left click to bring it in, or if you want, in all the viewports you want this to be the zoom selected option to be in the front, you can just use your right click and it will bring that only the selected element in all the viewports. So both way it works. Same goes for the zoom extend. Let's say if you want only in a certain viewport in perspective, let's say currently I'm in perspective, if I use the left key, it will bring the whole model only in the perspective. And if I use right click in the zoom extend, it will extend in all the viewports. Let's go with the zoom selected, maximize the perspective. We need to create an offset for this. So, but offsetting in a curved surface that is different from offsetting in a linear surface. So we won't be using the typical offset command here. We'll be using a different offset method, which is you have to bring your curve tool set, right? In this curve tool set, you will find offset curve on surface, because we want the curves to be remain on the surface. That's why we can puncture it. So I will use this. It will ask the curve on surface, right? But you don't have a curve. So what to do? The best thing is get out of this command first, select the surface and go to the curves from object. So this toolbar helps you to bring out any type of curves from any type of object which you want. Currently I want the boundary of this particular surface, right? So for that, the best suited tool is in this duplicate border, because this is a surface, I only need the border. So I will click this right away, straight away it will duplicate all the border from the surface, and my surface is still intact. Nothing changes in that. It only extracted the border or duplicated it. Now we can go back to offset curve on surface and select curve. Now it asks, I have a curve. I will select the curve. Now it will ask the base surface on which you want to offset. You want this curve to be aligned with which base surface. So obviously this is the base surface, and make sure your arrows are on the right direction, the same directions. I will keep the offset distance as 100 centimeters. My unit is centimeters, and then right mouse button or space bar or enter. You can use any of them. Let's go to the top view and see how it's happening. Now what you see is this line is almost aligned to this. It's okay, we can survive with that. Next, what we want to do is we want to cut out this extra portion. We don't want it because the glass puncture is starting from this distance. So I will bring my polyline command and just visually I will let off my smart track for a while, or you can disable your object snap if it's bothering you. Actually I want near, so I will keep it like this. You can set a perpendicular or you can set it knot to knot. You don't have to be precise as per the drawing, just conceptual understanding how things works here. Now to trim these things, I will use trim command. It's here, trim command, select cutting object. This is my cutting object, and then right mouse button and delete the remaining portions, and then right mouse button again to get out of the command, or escape key also you can use. Now you see there is a curve here. So there are many ways you can create this. You can directly use the fillet curve command. There is an option here. You can use the fillet curve, fillet the edges, or you can use arc command to bring an arc here. And but the best and most versatile is using the adjustable curve blend here in the curve tool set only. To do that, you need some two base lines. So before using this, what I need to do is I will be using delete subcurve command. It will actually create space in between and remove the remaining lines which we don't want. Let me show you. Let's say I will select this curve, and from this point till this point I don't want the line, so I will click here, right? And then again delete subcurve, select this curve this time. From this point to this point I don't want any line, so I will remove this much. Same process I will repeat. You can use, when you right click, the previous command automatically comes. You can see curve edit command automatically has came. I will follow the same process, right? From this point, again right click, it will bring the command back, and I will use this. Now this is a perfect situation to use adjustable curve blend. What does this command do? This command is very handy. Activate this command. It will straight away ask you to select curve to blend. You can also use fillet corners, but this I will show you what is the advantage of using a curve blend. It will ask curves to select. So this is the first curve and this is the second curve. You can see how beautifully these curves are blending in. It also gives you certain handles here, which you can, in this point only, you can select and make some modifications to actually match your curve if you have something to trace, or you can set accordingly, not a problem. Currently the tangency is on, so tangency means this line is the curve which is joining these two lines will be tangent to one and tangent to second curve, like this. If you do curvature, you can see what's the difference. It is getting more bulgy. So I'll keep it to this and I will do some modifications. I will make it's okay for me, and I will click OK to finalize this. Again, I will use right mouse button to bring the previous command back, which is adjustable curve blend. Select the curves 1 and 2, and you can see it is coming almost the same. Again, I have a handle I will use to just give it a little touch. Is everything okay? Click OK and you're done. Right, let's go to perspective and see. Yes, this is what we wanted basically. Let me remove all these. Right, so these are separate curves. What we need to do is I will select them and join them. Select them and then go to the join command, left mouse button, and they are joined. Next, what you need to do is you need to bring this curve and pull it, or let me try splitting this whole surface using this curve, and then so that I can make a puncture here. So for that, split command, left click, select objects to split. Definitely I want to split my surface. Press enter when done. So right mouse button, then select cutting object. So currently my cutting object is a curve, so I will select this and then right click again, and yes, you can see it's successful. I have easily splitted my surface into two. You follow the same process for other two as well. Okay, so all of them are done. You can see all of them are done. I'm sure you guys have also done that. Next is the top puncture, the top glass, the skylight. So this is kind of a polygon. So I will go to the polygon command. You can see there are different ways to make a polygon here. I will be using center polygon, and by lump sum, using the help of my crosshair, I will create. Later on I can adjust this definitely. Hold your shift key if your ortho is not on to align the axis. Yes, this will do. Now you can see these two control points. I will select control shift, select these two, use this red square button in your gumball, make sure your gumball is on. So how does it help? If you just click this and drag and hold the shift key, it will drag in 2 dimensions, right? Or if you select control shift and use the shift key and then drag, currently it will go in the same proportion, but in scaling it helps. Let's say I will show you. Let's say this whole polygon, an hexagon, you want to scale in proportion. So what happens if I use the shift key and then drag this red button? You can see how it goes in all the directions. And what happens if I don't press the shift key and select this red square and then drag? You can see it is stretching on only that direction. So currently what we want, so likewise, wherever required, however you want to use this gumball, it becomes handy. So currently I want only to extend in these two directions, so I will not use shift key. I can straight away just extend them on this axis. Same way these two, so control shift, right, control shift. If your these points are not visible, you can anyway you can go to the sidebar and use this show object control points, left mouse button, and if you don't want, you can use the right mouse button, it will go off, all the points will go off, right. So these 2 points needs to be here, so I will select these 2 points, control shift, select these 2 points. First of all, let me bring the points, yes, and select them, and then you can drag towards somewhere here nearby those points, and then again use control plus shift, use the red button to extend them on both the directions. Same you can do with these 2 points, pull them down to match, select them again, this time to pull them inside. So we have easily matched the polygon. You can off, right click, right mouse button, you can off these control points if you don't want to see them. Currently it is downside as we did on the top plan, so I will select this and go to the perspective, and I can go to the solid tools. I can straight away extrude closed planar curve, click, and I can extrude it, right, and then I can use Boolean difference, or I can use split command to split this surface. Select objects to split. I want to split this object, and then select cutting object. This is the cutting object, and I can delete the remaining one. So I only got the surface which we want. Later on I will create some glass layers and I will put all these surfaces in the glass. You can do it at any stage of the modeling. Okay, next, if you want this plan, you don't need it now, you can just hide this. What remaining is the bottom surfaces, so I will use polyline, right, create polylines to create the base. This is just a conceptual idea to make you understand how profile of buildings can be developed. This is the initial stages of the course, so I am not explaining more details like panelings and all the glass and the contours. Slowly we'll get into it, but in one of the videos before I have explained only how contours can be interesting. So likewise, in every example I will be discussing 1 or 2 points in detail later on. So all this is done. You know how to create a planar surface. From your solid creation tool you can use surface or planar curves. So you don't have to use control shift in the planar, you can straight away take the curves. So our base is done. You can cover this also if you want, again taking the planar curves. Okay, this is the whole curve. Okay, let's use control shift, curve segment, segment, and curve, and then see what happens if I use, yes, I can cap it easily. So here the control shift is helping a lot. Control shift, take the, either you can take surface edge also, both will work, or if you already have a curve, then you can use the curve segment, this is already a curve segment, and curve, right, and then go to the surface from planar curves, it will cap it. Follow the same here, control shift. Let's see what happens with surface edge. Yes, this is also giving me the same result. Good, right? What is the next step? To add glasses to this, right? That is very simple. Previous also we have done that. Make another layer, glass, windows, or just short it up. Select all the punctures, all the openings, the glass openings, sorry. Use shift to add to selection. Here also you can show glass, and I will right click, change object layer, and from the material I will go to, let's say, something plastic. This is just just an abstract. Transparency, color, you can adjust the color, right, and let's see how it comes in rendering. Okay, let's see the Arctic view. Fine. Now these curves are still reflecting. What you can do is you can this is another shortcut. I will cover that in later videos in detail, like how can we be faster in when you click your middle mouse button, this pop-up comes, and how can we customize this pop-up based on your usage, based on your work. All these commands which you see here, I have added them to fasten my work. Just like I want to select curves straight away, I will just use my middle mouse click and straight away I'll select my curve, and I'll put all those curves in profile curves, and this is my basic skin of the building. I hope you guys have learned in this a lot, and try to follow the exercises. In every exercise you learn something new, something repeating, so it's like a revision plus adding something new to your learning. I will be mixing up the exercises, small building exercises, then later on some product design, small how do we do the detailings of headphones, any daily use of your products. Yeah, you will learn from all those examples as well. So keep learning, guys. Keep following this whole playlist. Whatever doubts or you think you are stuck in some situation or some problems, or you have a specific model you are working on, there are some issues, you can definitely put those in the comment section with the details, and we will try to solve that up. Thank you. See you next time.